What's up, YouTube? This is MathWiz97 and welcome to episode number 56 of my WWE 2K16 Universe Mode. This is the first edition of Main Event following the Survivor Series pay-per-view, and we're kicking it off with the Party Animals as Fandango and Adam Rose are set for tag team competition here to kick off the show. And I gotta be honest, these two, they're kind of growing on me a little bit. I mean, the Party Animals, they're just all about coming down here, having a good time, having fun, and putting on a great show. And I gotta be honest, just coming out to have fun, we don't see enough of that here in Universe Mode. Especially not when it comes to the two men that they're facing tonight. Because when it comes to Blake and Murphy, they are all work and no play. These two men are strictly business. There is no fun when these two men hit the ring. But that's what works for them. Blake and Murphy, you can't deny that they have been successful since arriving here on the scene back at Night of Champions when they laid out Dean Ambrose. And I mean, since then, nobody has been able to defeat this tag team. Although the rumor, I guess the word on the street, is that these two men are on thin ice with Seth Rollins. Now, of course, how much can you really take a rumor seriously? I mean, Blake and Murphy, they had a great performance in Survivor Series, at least in my view. Wesley Blake got an elimination to his credit. Buddy Murphy did not. However, Buddy Murphy was in that match for a solid 40, almost 50 minutes. So, I mean, really, although Buddy Murphy, he didn't get the elimination, he was sort of the workhorse of the matchup for Team Rollins. So you gotta give him credit for that. He managed to stick around for the majority of that contest. And he definitely did play a key role for Team Rollins. But again, you know, it is just a rumor, so how much truth really is there to it? But you never know. If that is the case, Blake and Murphy, they definitely need a victory here tonight. If they are truly on thin ice with Seth Rollins, then they got to go out here and prove their worth once again. However, this could give a bit of an advantage to the Party Animals, because if Murphy and Blake are not in the right headspace, if they're worried, you know, this could just distract them, and we could be in for yet another upset. We saw Sandow pick up the win over Orton. Perhaps the Party Animals could be in for a tag team upset victory over Blake and Murphy tonight. We'll just have to see how things play out. But off that Tornado DDT, Adam Rose, that is some vintage Adam Rose right there, having a good time. But it looks like it's going to backfire on him as Buddy Murphy drops him with that rolling elbow. And one thing is for sure, Blake and Murphy, when it comes to tag team fundamentals, these two men cannot be beat. They've got that similar, like-minded attitude, and that really is what has translated to such great success, is that chemistry that they just seem to automatically share. Whereas Adam Rose and Fandango, I gotta be honest, they do have chemistry. They are on the same page. But for them, it just hasn't quite translated into tag team success. But perhaps tonight, if they could get an upset over Blake and Murphy, could start to put them on the right track. As Fandango tagged into the matchup, you heard the crowd earlier doing some Fandangoing. And there you see some vintage dance moves from Fandango. But again, with that sort of attitude, whereas Blake and Murphy are all work and no play, if that's the case, then the Party Animals could be described as all play and no work. And that's definitely not going to lead to much long-term success here in the WWE. But at the moment, it is the Party Animals who have the upper hand over Blake and Murphy. But how much longer is that going to last? And there you go, curse of the commentator. Buddy Murphy turns things around with a jawbreaker. And now Buddy Murphy, after laying Fandango out with a jawjacker of a right hand, now he's looking to make the tag. And for the first time in this matchup, Wesley Blake enters the fray. As there's a double kick to the gut. Fandango, double suplexed back down to the canvas. And there's that chemistry on display between Blake and Murphy, just that unspoken communication that they share. Almost like brothers, these two. As right now, Wesley Blake, elbow after elbow to the back of the head of Fandango. Now, looking to hang him out to dry on that that ring rope with the inverted suplex. Now into the cover. but Fandango kicks at it too. It just wouldn't be an episode of Universe Mode if I didn't butcher a line of commentary, would it? Anyways, back to the match at hand. Fandango brought back to his feet, courtesy of Wesley Blake, and another tag has been made. Buddy Murphy, oh, look at these! Knife edge chops from Wesley Blake, and a neckbreaker to follow suit from Buddy Murphy. Excellent combination right there from these two. As now Fandango again brought to his feet. Buddy Murphy whipping Fandango into the corner. There's another knife edge chop. Fandango placed up on that top rope as he kicks Murphy off. A nice counter, and Fandango! The leg drop across the sternum. And Fandango the cover. This could be the upset. 2. No. Buddy Murphy managing to kick out there. But a close call for Blake and Murphy. As now Fandango perhaps looking to make the tag to Adam Rose, get a bit of a reprieve. As Buddy Murphy whipped off the ropes. And double flapjack from the Party Animals. And Adam Rose, there you see it again. It's party time all the time when it comes to Adam Rose. And when it comes to the Party Animals. But giving Buddy Murphy much more time to recover than is necessary. And as a result, he misses the clothesline. Buddy Murphy, the counter, and then the spinning neck breaker. Following it up now with a knee. Dropped right into the chest of Adam Rose as Murphy just buries it. That bone straight into the chest of Rose. And now, the kick to the leg chops him down to size. And one stiff kick right to the sternum again. As Fandango knocked off the ropes. Buddy Murphy looking to size up Adam Rose, perhaps going in for the kill. As the tag is made to Wesley Blake. And there we go. Blake to the top rope. Brainbuster from Murphy to set up the frog splash from Wesley Blake. And again, Fandango's going to get knocked off the ropes just for some insurance. As Wesley Blake hooks the leg. 2, 3. And when you get hit, when you get caught in that combination, the Brainbuster, as if the Brainbuster's not devastating enough on its own, to then get nailed with a frog splash like that, devastating. Absolutely vicious. But the fact remains that Buddy Murphy and Wesley Blake are walking out with a victory tonight. So if they are on thin ice, perhaps that ice has melted a little bit. And maybe Blake and Murphy can get back on track. As really, that has been the first hiccup for them, was that Survivor Series tag team matchup. The first matchup that really any of them had been eliminated in. But now we're going to move on to our main event for this evening. As you see, the former Intercontinental Champion, the man who, one of 3 men who competed for the WWE Championship in the main event of Survivor Series. Of course, as you can see, the WWE Championship is not around Titus O'Neil's waist, as he was defeated, though he was not pinned or submitted. In fact, it was Kevin Owens with a package pile driver who scored the pinfall victory over Brock Lesnar, and as a result, Titus O'Neil once again lost his shot at the championship. First, Kevin Owens screwed him out of the Intercontinental title, and now he has done the same with the WWE Championship. But despite that fact, Titus O'Neil, he's still a force to be reckoned with. I mean, you're looking at a guy who won the King of the Ring tournament. He had to go through many a superstar to earn that title. So really, and then you also want to take a look at his Intercontinental Championship reign. The fact that he held the title for 168 days, spanning from WrestleMania all the way up to Night of Champions. But at the end of the day, he just couldn't get the job done at Survivor Series. And that's one thing that he shares in common with the man who stands before you now. The man, the face who runs the place. Superman himself, John Cena. Because just like Titus O'Neil, John Cena was also unsuccessful at Survivor Series. He went one-on-one, head-to-head, face-to-face with the new face of fear, the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt. And let's just say John Cena did not come out without a few scars, both physically and mentally. At the end of the day, Bray Wyatt stood tall after laying Cena out with a Sister Abigail. But tonight, John Cena's got to put that behind him. He's got to get back on the winning track. As we saw leading into the pay-per-view, Bray Wyatt said he would not only defeat John Cena, but he would steal his soul. At the moment, John Cena appears to be the same old John Cena that we've seen in the past. But I guess we'll see once this matchup gets underway just how much that loss could affect him. Has Bray Wyatt really fulfilled his promise in stealing Cena's soul? Is Cena at this point just a hollow shell of the man he once was? As we see a bit of technical wrestling, Titus O'Neil and John Cena with a bit of an exchange of power. As John Cena able to force the break, ducks underneath as Titus O'Neil bouncing off the ropes into a clothesline that just floored John Cena, nearly knocked him out of his shoes. Cena tried to answer back with a punch, but Titus blocked it. Now Titus, a body shot. And right hand to the skull. And Titus O'Neil, a bit of confidence for his efforts. As both of these men really need the bounce-back victory tonight, neither man can afford the loss, as Titus looking for the vertical suplex, but Cena with the counter and a hip toss. And now you see a bit of confidence oozing out of John Cena. Titus O'Neil spun around, and again, the hip toss driving Titus into the mat. Following it up with an elbow drop is Cena. As John Cena, you have to think, the last pay-per-view matchup he had prior to Survivor Series was his confrontation with Brock Lesnar. A confrontation that cost him a month of his career as he was put on the shelf. And then, of course, just to follow that up, Bray Wyatt adding with it the mental weight, the anxiety that Cena has endured thanks to Bray Wyatt. Just exactly what kind of shape is John Cena in at the moment? This could be the opportunity for Titus O'Neil to pick up a huge victory over a top star like John Cena. Whereas Titus O'Neil, it seems as though things, though he did lose at King of the Ring, and he did lose his Intercontinental, or not at King of the Ring, Survivor Series, I should say. As John Cena with the roll up. 1, 2. No, the kick out by Titus at 2. But as I was saying, Titus O'Neil, the loss at Survivor Series, and prior to that, the loss at Battleground to Kevin Owens, and the loss at Night of Champions to Cesaro, where he lost his Intercontinental Championship. Even though that is the case, Titus O'Neil, while he has lost those matches, he's not quite exactly in the same sort of mental state as John Cena. In fact, I think Titus O'Neil, those losses have sort of made him a better man. Because while those losses did happen, think about what else has happened to Titus in that same span of time. He has sort of rekindled his, not necessarily a friendship, but he's sort of built the bridge that was once broken between himself and his former primetime partner, Darren Young. I would say Titus O'Neil, though yes, he has suffered the defeats, as a character, he really has managed to right the wrongs of his past. And for that, I'd say he's the better man for it. Anyways, back to the match at hand. Titus O'Neil looking for the third scoop slam, but Cena able to counter his way out of it. And now, John with the fisherman suplex as he takes down Titus O'Neil. And look at John Cena, these vicious right hands. That's one thing we saw at Survivor Series, was the aggression. Just the ruthless aggression from John Cena. As now, Titus planted with a facebuster. Bray Wyatt certainly has awoken something in John Cena that we haven't seen in quite some time. But the facebuster does not put Titus O'Neil away. John Cena, he's got to utilize that aggression in a constructive manner. He can't let himself self-implode. Because if that happens, then Titus O'Neil is a shoo-in for the victory. Cena, he has to find a way to utilize that anger to his advantage. with a tornado DDT like that, that might just do the trick. Titus. He's in trouble as John Cena, again, vicious elbow strikes right at the top of the forehead of Titus O'Neil. And again, Cena, the bare knuckle shots, as he is just looking to punch Titus's lights out, almost like a boxing match. As there's the cover, 2. But again, the kick out from Titus. And again, John Cena frustrated with the result, arguing with the referee. And now Cena just stomping away at Titus. This is a much more aggressive John Cena than we've known in the past, for better or for worse. As he's got Titus against the ropes. But Titus, the counter, and Cena dumped to the outside. That's going to give Titus a moment to recover. A chance to catch his breath as Cena on the outside, trying to get back to his feet. But this is valuable time for Titus O'Neil to recover. As Cena back up on the apron, but Titus is there to meet him as he tosses Cena back into the ring. Titus O'Neil, he's got John! Clash of the Titus! And he may have just put Cena down and out for good as he hooks the leg. 1, 2, no! That was only a 2 count. Cena kicked out of the Clash of the Titus. And from what we know from John Cena, it's going to take more than a single Clash of the Titus to put him down. There's a reason why they call this man the Superman of WWE. And I'm not talking about the Swiss Superman Cesaro. I'm talking about the all-around Superman. The man, the superhero of all superheroes. As Cena, right now, he's not looking so super. Titus O'Neil from the second rope. Fall-away slam. Vintage Titus O'Neil. And he might have just buried Cena here. 2. No. Again, an emphatic kick out from Cena as he's back to his feet, but does he really know where he is? Yes, he does. Somehow, he's still with it. Looking for a DDT, but it's Titus who blocks it. And now, no, a counter from Cena, the jawbreaker. And a drop kick from John as Cena takes down O'Neil. John Cena, he's starting to fire it up. Channel that second wind. As Titus, I don't think he knows where he's at. Trying to recover himself. Meanwhile, Cena, crossbody, and the legs are hooked. 2. No. How often do we see Cena go to the top rope? But even then, he can't put Titus O'Neil down for a 3 count. As off the ropes O'Neil goes. A Cena Karana, and the hook of the leg again. 2. No, another kick out. And this is where Cena begins to tap into that arsenal that he has developed over a decade's worth of that thing, the words. 2. No, another kick out as the sunset flip does not put Titus O'Neil down for 3 seconds. As I was trying to say, John Cena, with that arsenal that he has developed over the course of his career, well over a decade's worth, is, oh, a huge clothesline turned Titus O'Neil inside out. And you see Cena, more arrogance, as another clothesline to Titus O'Neil. Right now, Titus just can't keep up with John Cena. That adrenaline is flowing through John Cena's veins. And right now, he just cannot be stopped. He is like a man possessed in that ring. As there's the knee lift. Titus O'Neil sent crashing to the mat. And big match, John with the leg drop to the back of the skull. Might just put Titus's lights out. As there's the cover. 1, 2. No, another kick out. Titus the Defiance. But there's Cena with the aggression again. And again, Cena, the punches to the face of Titus. He is just looking to make this man bleed all over this ring. As just, I mean, look at this viciousness. Perhaps Bray Wyatt has taken something away from John Cena. Maybe he did steal his soul after all. Because this is not the same John Cena that I know. Is Titus able to counter, able to work his way out of that hold. As Cena bouncing out of the corner. Titus, no, a counter. Cena almost with like a mini attitude adjustment. Now he's looking for the real one. But Titus the counter. And an Impaler DDT. John Cena brought back down for his efforts. As Titus picking him back up. Onto the shoulder goes Cena. There's the Gutbuster. And Titus has won many a match with that move. Could he win another one? 2. No. Not if John Cena has anything to say about it. And he most certainly does. Kicking out of that move. At almost 2 7/8. Titus now looking to the top rope. A high-risk move from O'Neil, but he misses it. It does not pay off. He crashes and burns. And John Cena now looking to make him taste defeat. And now I think Titus O'Neil, yep, there it is. He's been busted open finally. After all the punches from Cena just wearing him down. Now the Boston Crab. As you can see the blood flowing out of that open wound from Titus O'Neil. He's got nowhere to go, so he's just going to power out of it instead. He doesn't need a rope break. John Cena whipped off the ropes as Titus O'Neil, a big boot to the skull. Might have chipped a couple teeth with that one. Cena has no clue where he is. As Titus O'Neil sizing him up. Here we go. Clash of the Titus for the second time. And I'll be damned if John Cena kicks out of this. 2, 3. There's your match, folks. And the winner is Titus O'Neil. A huge bounce back victory tonight for the real deal. As the former Intercontinental Champion puts away the face that runs the place. And that is going to be it for this episode of Main Event. I hope you all enjoyed it. Be sure to stay tuned for the next one. And until the next video that I make, as I always say, keep on YouTubing, baby!